Hello, it's Adam from RD Parts here. I'm down at Tarty Bikes. I'm just going to show you around our new V-brake adapters. So these are laser cut from 3mm thick 304 grade stainless steel in the factory just across the road there. And they are designed to fit basically pretty much every setup of 4-bolt mounts you could think of, and enable you to fit a V-brake on there. So when they're delivered to you, you'll notice that there's two parts. There's the bottom plate and a top plate, obviously plus the stud. And then in the back there is another bolt head as well. This is just nipped down for delivery. But when it comes to you, if you loosen it off slightly with a 4mm Allen key, you can see that you've got 1, 2, 3 mounting positions, and that actually allows you to adjust the position of the stud relative to your wheel. So you've got like a narrow brake mount space in there, a middle space in there, and then a wide space in there. So that, combined with the washers that are on the V-brake pads themselves, should allow you to get the perfect setup for whichever rim width or frame width you've got. We generally recommend that once you've got the everything bolted on the bike, this flat part here of the arm is ending up parallel with your rim. Some of the trials rims have got a slightly outward facing sidewall at the top, so if you have your brake arm almost going slightly up into the rim, that will give you the best braking power. If you run in parallel and the pad's trying to drag down the rim, that will make the brake a bit more squishy and not perform quite as well. So fitting, you may have to be a little bit iterative and go backwards and forwards with this to get the right setup, but it's pretty straightforward. So the kit comes with all the bolts and fixings you need. The top one here is a 3mm Allen key with a dome head, and you've probably noticed already that it's on a slot because the orientation of this sort of 3-hole system here means that you will be moving the whole adapter up and down slightly. So the slot there just allows you to take out that movement. So you can just afford to nip that in gently, just hold the adapter in place. Then you get your countersunk bolt, also 3mm Allen key head, and just eyeball it and see which position you might want for your setup. So generally, if you start in the middle one, you're not going to be miles away. Snip that down gently, and then pop your V-brake arm on. The little notch cut here in the top plate is to seat the pin that creates the tension on the V-brake arm. And once that's in place, you can then offer it up to your rim and see where you want to be. Obviously, you've got the wide and the narrow washers on your V-brake pads, on most of them anyway, so you can switch those around. Just have a play with that. If you do need to adjust whether your stud is closer or further away, just take out this bolt. Hopefully not let it drop on the floor like me. And then move it into one of the other holes. So I've now moved it inboard slightly. So if you've got a narrower rim, like an old Mavic or something like that, that might be useful. You can see that there. Or then if you've got, say, quite a narrow frame, maybe an old Hex or an Ashton, and you've got a wide, more modern wide rim, you might want to go to the outer position there. So once you've decided which position you're going to use, I would take off this top bolt. Just put that to one side. And then if you rotate the whole V-brake V-brake adapter around and just nip it down with that bolt there, that now centres the top and the bottom plates together. And you will need a 9mm spanner or an adjustable in a pinch, and hold the bottom bolt here with a 4mm Allen key, and then tighten in your stud nice and tight. That will lock the two pieces together. And then you can just go back, undo that bolt, spin it round to position. Top bolt goes back in. Nip these down. A bit of grease on the threads isn't a bad shout. Torque setting, if you're into that sort of thing, probably 6 to 8 Newton meters. For the main boss, I'd say 8 to 10 because it's a slightly bigger bolt. And you can see on these how nice and low profile they are. They're not sticking up like some of the larger aluminium ones. And then when you put the arm on there, you've got plenty of clearance behind the back here for your pad to clear. And also plenty of clearance here around the sort of feature of the V-brake arm where the pad bolts in. Another thing to mention as well, there is actually a little spacer kit we've produced for these. Some frames and forks might have different shapes of the 4-bolt mounts, and sometimes that 4mm Allen key head dome bolt on the back might interfere with the frame. So I'll just show you how to measure for that, and I'll show you the little spacer kit as well. So what we need to do is make sure that from the centre of the bottom V-brake, bottom four-bot mount hole to the bottom of the mount here. It's not very bright, hopefully that comes up. So we've got 6.9mm here. If it's any more than 8mm, you will run into the bottom of the four-bot mount touching the edge of this bolt here, and it won't quite sit properly. You get a similar thing on some of the Kruger's bikes, where they've got like a recessed mount and then the weld comes up here. But we've got these little washer spacer plates, which are made to fit perfectly behind the V-brake adapters, like so. And they come supplied with the longer bolts. Again, a dome head for the top and a countersunk one for the bottom. So I'll just show you how they go on as well. Pretty straightforward as before. Bolt that one through there, 3mm Allen key. At the current time, these countersunk bolts are a Torx fitting, but it's a T25, so it's the same one that everybody's got for disc rotors and what have you. So nice and easy to find. Find the hole, screw it in, nip it down, and then you'll see, a bit like all the photos on the product description, you've now got a bit of extra clearance here, and that will allow you to make sure that there's no interference problems. So yeah, hopefully they'll be useful to some people. Any questions, comments, please give us a shout. Cheers.